Good evening. Here I am playing Dying Light. The entire reason why I'm making this video is to show you how you can take anything you want to into Bozak Horde. Step 1, get to this point on this mission, which is the museum. Get to the point where, Jade is going to go all Amazon and get all these guys. Now, this cool little function that happens when you swipe the touchpad is you bring up your menu. Now, while I'm going through and dropping specific things that I want to bring into Bozak Horde, I'll let you know I do have a partner in here, a co-op partner, because it's a lot easier to do this with a co-op partner. Now, the reason why it is that way is so they can distract to here in just a little bit here, because I'm going to need to pick up the items that I want to bring with me. Now, they'll have to swipe their touchpad as well, so it stops the video in the background, and you also have to wait until that specific moment. That's the moment that I wait to. I think almost any time during that time should be okay for you to swipe the touchpad and start dropping things like this. But as soon as she jumps on top of the fourth dude that she's taking out, that is when you can go in here and start dropping your stuff. And that's where I've myself been doing it. What you want to do is Night Hunter boosters are always good. Firecrackers are good for the exploding, suicide guys. So drop some of those. Med kits, as you saw below. Clickers are good if you want to upgrade your Bozak bow, but not really for much anything else. And then, of course, you can drop, 1 or 2 weapons. Now, one thing I don't do is I don't drop my gun. And grappling hook, of course. I don't drop my gun, but because I've done this previously, I think the guns actually just keep on staying in my inventory. I've also got some other items that do that as well. So you'll see me not drop some things, but some other things come with me. Now, after you've done that, you back out. You should also warn your co-op partner that, you have also backed out. But they'll see the video start up again as soon as that occurs. Now, you have to, unfortunately, you can't skip these videos, which is kind of annoying, but essentially, while we're kind of waiting until I can start picking things up, I'll kind of let you know what I think is occurring in order to bring those things in. By dropping those things right now, you're actually dropping them in the game. Now, as soon as this cutscene ends here, the game is going to take away all of your inventory. And whatever you pick up here, you take with you into Bozak Horde. It almost becomes like a secret inventory within your inventory. So that when you go into Bozak Horde, it only takes away the other stuff. The secret inventory, it doesn't look at to take away. And I'll explain some stuff a little bit later on, because in a moment here, we're going to be showing me picking things up. So give me just one moment here while I do that. Now, when you get attacked by Tahir, this is when you need the co-op partner. You can do this by yourself, but it is so much easier to have the co-op partner go and actually distract them. Now, my co-op partner does a pretty good job. Lets him get me once, but that's fine because that happens. He had actually knocked him over as well, so it happens. But either way, go through, make sure you pick everything up. I didn't drop like a ton of stuff, but as you can see, I'll use my survivor sense to make sure I got everything picked up. Sometimes, as you can see, the nails here are floating in midair, and sometimes, unfortunately, things will get stuck underneath the bodies. So also, I will mention that if you drop too many things, they'll start to disappear. So take basically only what you need to take with you, and then don't worry about anything else. And as you can see, destroying Tahir is not very hard with a gold tier weapon, and that'll also make Bozak Horde a lot easier as well. Nicely, we can skip over this here. Oh, and the nice thing is, you don't actually have to have your partner stay with you after that. I think my partner actually leaves here in a moment because he's like, "Hey, now you got everything that needs to be done. Can I back out?" I'm like, "Yeah, go ahead and back out." But yeah, either way, I'll mention a couple things here as we're heading this way. Your secret inventory is essentially like an inventory within your inventory, like I mentioned. So the sword that I'm carrying right now, any damage that I cause to that weapon, it stays that way. That's why I gave myself a bunch of metal parts. Well, that, and also so I can make myself a bunch of arrows as well inside of Bozak Horde. I also brought the clickers so I could upgrade the bow. I think I mentioned that earlier. But if you use a med kit, it gets used up, regardless of where you use it. You could use it inside of the Bozak Horde or outside the Bozak Horde, doesn't matter. You could use the firecrackers inside Bozak Horde or outside. Doesn't matter where you damage the weapon. But as long as you keep those items in your inventory, as in you don't drop them or put them inside your stash, they will always be in there when you go to the Bozak Horde. That's including your grappling hook and everything. Now, I've actually had multiple grappling hooks, and for some odd reason, it seems to always bring that one back, but I'd be cautious even with that and never have less than one grappling hook in your inventory, because grappling hook is essential for, getting through the Bozak Horde in a very, very, very fast time. Now, I will say I did it legitimately once to get the bow, and then I went through and got some of the arrows, but the exploding arrows, I couldn't get it. I completed it by myself alone at, I think it was 32 minutes and some change, and I'm like, okay, I'm done. And then I found this, and it made it a lot easier. But one other thing that's very important for me to tell you as well is that, let's see here. The easiest way to explain this is Bozak Horde remembers what you pick up inside the Bozak Horde. So let's say you have a stack of 98 medkits, right? And you pick up a medkit. And that's inside Bozak Horde. What happens is if you die and restart, it's going to take away that entire stack of 99 medkits. In fact, it may take away all of them. The only reason why I say it may only take away the one stack is because it works the same way with the firecrackers. If you pick up firecrackers, it will take away the entire stack of firecrackers. So what I'd recommend is when you go in the Bozak Horde with this glitch, with this exploit, don't pick up anything, because you're not going to need anything. You're going to have metal parts if you drop metal parts, so you won't have to worry about repairing your weapon or making arrows. You're going to have basically everything. You're going to have medkits and firecrackers and Night Hunter boosters. I recommend the Night Hunter boosters because it makes the end so much easier, and it also makes it so you are a lot harder to kill during sections where you might lose a lot of health. Like if you get a bunch of virals that are all attacking you at once, or the demolishers at the end. And what's really cool is if you have a katana like I did, does 2,600 and some odd damage. I can't remember exactly how much. But if you have a weapon like that, you can almost one-hit the demolishers at the end. But here, as you can see, I've got my sword. I still have the guns, like I mentioned before. Got the grappling hook, the Night Hunter boosters, firecrackers, the premium katana. So I'm set. I'm even going to scroll down. As you can see, I still have the clickers. See, some of this stuff just keeps on staying in there no matter how many times I try and go through this. But either way, I'm happy. And I'll even push the button here to show you that when I go down in the elevator, that I'll still have everything. And like I said, this will stay this way as long as you keep those specific items in your inventory. As long as you keep that sword, as long as you keep the weapons you drop, as long as you keep the crafting parts, as long as you keep the clickers or whatever you drop, as long as you keep the firecrackers, all that stuff, as long as you keep that in your inventory, it will stay there anytime you go to the Bozak Horde. The moment that you put it away in your stash or drop it, I think, then it disappears. But I've even had some stuff stick around that I thought shouldn't have been there. But either way, there you go. And so I think that there's not much else. Oh, I was going to actually show you one extra little trick here. That's normally how long it takes you to craft an arrow. But if you go back and forth like this, hitting L1 and L1 and R1. Well, on mine it's L1 and R1. It might be different on yours. I can't remember. But it makes it so you can craft arrows faster. So there's a little extra nugget there. But either way, hopefully this helps. I know it helped me out in getting past the annoyingly challenging Bozak Horde, because I don't want to have to go through 20 minutes of stuff and then, not reach the end and have to go all the way through it again. But either way, hopefully that helped. And just remember, if it wasn't evening when you watched this, it's always evening where I am.